and Sass. The series talking all things skin with a side of sass. Hosted by Kelly George and Andy Paulson. Proudly sponsored by KGA Body. Hi guys, and welcome back to Skin and Sass TV. I'm Andy Paulson. I have with me
Kelly George. Hey guys.
Hello.
This is a fun app.
Yes, I'm excited about this one. Body contouring, non-surgical body contouring.
Correct.
So there's a distinction there. We're not talking lipo, we're talking non-invasive.
Yes.
Not surgical.
Devices that sit on the outside of the body and help to contour you.
And it is a massive market and
Booming.
growing. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you gave me the stats here, but I was like, what? The global body contouring devices market is expected to reach $9 billion US dollars. Billion by 2028.
Which is actually up from $3.5 billion last year. So that's like...
It's still massive.
Insane jump.
$3.5 billion.
And for, relatively new market. So...
How long have these devices been around for?
Look, I think they've been around in various forms for the last 10 to 15 years.
Okay.
But it's really probably, I would say, in the last 2 to 5 years that the technology has advanced enough for us to actually see results.
Okay. So the last 2 to 5 years, and you have one of these machines.
I do.
Which I cannot wait to talk about.
Yes.
And the great thing about these non-surgical and non-invasive procedures is it's literally a lunchtime procedure, right?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes a long lunch because it's extra.
That's okay. We used to have a lot of long lunches when we were working together.
We did. I miss
Remember
those
days. And the other thing is they're generally pretty safe.
Yes, they're actually really, really safe.
Yeah.
I guess with every now and then someone might get a tiny little, like a little blister.
Okay.
But I mean, that's rare, 1% of the time.
I get blisters just putting on a pair of high heels for 5 minutes.
But yeah, basically very, very little risk involved.
Okay. Okay. So tell us about some of the devices out there.
So I guess we'll start with cryolipolysis, which is, I guess, everyone will know as CoolSculpting. Because it's probably, I would say, the most popular.
And I've had it done.
We've both had it done. So CoolSculpting freezes fat cells. So it uses temperature to destroy fat cells, but obviously it uses cold temperatures. The reason that I guess CoolSculpting is sort of it's on the outs, I guess, these days, is because with CoolSculpting, it has to suck the fat.
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember that feeling?
It's so intense. This was like 10 years ago, but I remember being on this machine and it's like a huge, like imagine like a really powerful like a Dyson vacuum. Yeah. Like grabbing all your fat and then the freezing. So at the beginning, it stings because it's literally freezing. And then after a while it goes numb and it's fine. But at the start, you're just like, oh.
Yeah. And then, of course, they pull the machine off and you're left with, they call it the butter stick because it is this, so picture like half defrosted chicken breast. You know when chicken breast is half defrosted? That's exactly what it's like. And then as the therapist, you have to come in, you have to massage it because the massage part, you have to do a good 15 minutes of like massaging this chicken breast. Gross, right? Anyway, so we're not talking about that today. Then there are other lipolysis. So lipolysis means death of fat cells or death of the cells, basically. So we've got radiofrequency ones and we've got ones that use heat. My machine uses radiofrequency and heat. Okay. And I've got to say, having had both cryolipolysis, CoolSculpting, and the warm one is so much nicer.
You're a warm person.
I'm a warm
You're
person.
A hot shower, like heating.
Yeah.
But even me, I like cool, and the CoolSculpting was intense.
It feels like sort of laying there with a hot rock on you. To be honest, when I was treating like my bra fat, I fell asleep. It was the most comfortable thing.
Really?
It was great. It was so good. So, but both of those machines use extreme temperatures to kill fat cells. Then we have cellulite and skin tightening devices. So they're not necessarily about contouring or fat destruction, but in my experience, cellulite machines don't really work. However,
sad, isn't it?
When you use them in conjunction with muscle stimulating and fat destructing, so I have all 3 machines in my clinic now, we are getting beautiful, beautiful results because it's sort of looking at the body holistically and going, we need to dissolve a little bit of fat, we need to build a little bit of muscle, and we need to tighten this skin and help with the fibrous sort of connective tissue that can create cellulite.
So this is 3 different machines. So a fat heating machine and a muscle stimulating machine.
Correct.
And what's the other one?
I like it.
Muscle stimulating machine.
And a cellulite device. So it basically breaks down the fibrous tissue that holds sort of the fat cells together, and by breaking them down and releasing the waste fluids, you get a smoother overall result. That's also radio frequency and heat.
Okay.
So, I wouldn't use that machine on its own, but in conjunction with the other 2, we're getting really, really good results. Okay. So I guess we have those devices at KGA. Today, though, we're going to be taking everyone through the TruSculpt. So it's the muscle stimulating one. And it's the one that, if you follow me on social media, you'll know that I talk a lot about 54,000 sit-ups or 54,000 crunches, 54,000 squats. So the 45-minute procedure simulates exercising and simulates the equivalent of 54,000 repetitions.
So it's basically you've got a video coming up.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
But so little paddles that deliver little electric impulses, radio frequencies, and they stimulate the muscle to work.
They stimulate the individual cells within the muscle too. So you get this overall strengthening and toning and contouring.
And what does it feel like when I haven't tried it yet.
Well, it kind of feels like contractions, but the very early days of contractions.
Okay.
So don't let any man think.
It's not like you're going into labour.
No, but just that kind of like, in fact, it actually almost feels like, not everyone will know this feeling, but when a baby kicks, it's that kind of butterflies and fluttering from within inside. But the other cool thing is, because it is simulating exercise, it actually raises your basal metabolic rate, which means it's like you're exercising. So it actually is able to shrink fat cells, so not destroy them like the other machine, but just like if you were to exercise, your fat cells either grow or shrink depending on your diet and your fitness level. So when you're exercising, the way we lose weight is we don't actually destroy and lose the number of fat cells, we shrink our fat cells.
Right.
And so this muscle stimulating device, in addition to sort of strengthening and toning the muscle, can shrink the fat cells by simulating that 45-minute exercise.
So best results, do you need to do this in conjunction with diet and exercise?
Yeah, absolutely. So patient selection is a huge part of this process. When I used to have TruSculpt in my clinic, I had a patient come in and bring her cheeseburger and large Coke from Macca's, sit on the machine, and I was like, this is never going to work for you. You have to use it as a way to kickstart, a really nice, healthy lifestyle. So we like our patients to go for at least 4 walks a week.
Yes, okay.
And
that's reasonable.
Nothing crazy. Just get moving and make sure you're drinking plenty of water to, flush the waste products, things like that. So you don't have to be a fitness freak, but you have to just be committed to a generally healthy lifestyle.
Okay, so the TruSculpt is the muscle sculpting machine. Yes. What are the names of the other machines that you have?
So we have the TruSculpt ID.
ID.
And that's the fat destructing one. And then we have the TruSculpt Flex, which is the muscle stimulating. Yes. And then we have a VeloShape, and the VeloShape is the cellulite one. Okay. And it's what I would call the icing on the top of the cake. So after you've done the other, we call it the KGA strong body package, where we destroy the fat cells, we sculpt the muscles, and then if you've got a little bit of skin laxity or a little bit of cellulite left at the end, we just smooth it all out.
Okay, and how many treatments do you need of the body contouring?
Yeah, so with the fat destruction, the ID, it reduces the fat in the area that we treat. So when I say that, I'm specifically talking about little hand pads that sit over the areas that we want to treat.
Yes.
In that specific area, it will dissolve or destroy fat cells about 24% of the fat cells that you have. So depending on how much fat you have, you may want to do a second session 12 weeks later. You may not need to.
Okay.
With the Flex, with the muscle stimulating, you have 6 sessions, approximately a week apart. And then you can, if you choose to, top them up once every 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
And why wouldn't you want to just go and have a 54,000 sit-ups once a week or once a month?
Once a month, okay. I'm there.
You're there, all right. Okay.
Should we watch this video now?
Yes, let's.
Yes? Okay.
So following a thorough consultation to determine the patient's suitability for the treatment, we start by marking up the patient. With our fat destruction device, the marking up is a little more involved, but this footage obviously just shows us marking up for the Flex device. So all we're really doing is trying to find her abdominal and her oblique muscles. Once the patient is marked up, we have them lay on the bed, get all comfy, and we apply the pads. We then wrap the patient up with this great little latex cummerbund so they feel all secure. We set the device to an appropriate starting point, usually around 15 or 20%, depending on the patient's fitness level. But then the patient can increase the intensity as they progress through the treatment. And, you know, what we found is it becomes a bit of a competition between our patients to see how high they can go. I think at the moment we've had about 3 that have made it to 100%.
Wow, that must be intense.
It is. Look, to give you a reference point, I get to around 56%. That's my maximum. And I've been on the machine a lot.
And you're pretty tough.
Yeah.
Okay.
7-step Kev.
Oh, what does he do?
He gets to, I think, he's got to 96%.
Okay.
So
Gotta beat
Andy's got to beat 7-step
That's it.
Kev.
Gotta beat 7-step. Okay, so before we wrap up this body contouring app, I have one quick sassy question for you,
Yes.
Kelly, which is not in the script. So she's
Oh,
freaking
God.
out.
She hates it when she goes off script.
Okay, so on the topic of body and calories, if there was one food for the rest of your life you could eat and enjoy it and never, like the calories from it would never go on to
Obviously pizza.
pizza.
Always pizza.
That's crazy though. So many
Why?
people
I
would
love
think,
it.
like chocolate or
Nah.
champagne. No, pizza.
I could eat pizza every single day and not get fat.
insane.
I'm there.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Heard it here first. The way to Kelly's heart is with a pizza, guys. So with that, we'll say goodbye for another episode of Skin and Sass TV.
Bye, guys.